Let's take a look at what we can call the border framework or Borderlands framework, either way you want to look at it. The border framework is something like this, where historically framework or the way of thinking about borders was what we might refer to as a static border. So in terms of a static border, basically it's static in terms of the flow of ideas, the flow of people, flows of goods, and the flow of capital. The static barrier type of framework fails to take into account the notions of border interactions and the dynamics of borders. And that is, for example, with this new look at the framework, it's a dynamic, and it takes into account economics, econ, standards of living, and culture between borders. So these things all are associated with it. These interactions, let's have interactions over here. Interactions in this border framework here, they can come in two flavors, what I call two flavors. You have the quantity and the quality. And quantity is in terms of the volume of trade, the volume of border crossings, the number of transactions, anything that you can put a numerical value to. And there's quality that comes in two flavors of its own. You have high quality and low quality. You have high quality are those things that benefit both sides of the border, and low quality are those things that are detrimental to both sides of the border, such as smuggling, crime, illegal immigration, and those types of things. In addition to all of this, we have the idea of borders as being symmetrical and asymmetrical. That's asymmetrical boundaries, so we could come off of here like this, and we can come off of here like this, and we could say that asymmetrical boundaries are when two countries with a shared border or shared boundary have similar standards. And those standards can come in some different flavors as well. We have cultural standards, and we can have economic standards. So cultural standards. So if you took, for example, let's say we have Canada, there's Florida, Mexico, and we put Texas in here, somewhere like this, Great Lakes. Okay, this is Canada. And this is Mexico. Here's Texas right here. Texas and Mexico have similar cultural standards. They're asymmetrical in terms of cultural standards, especially along the border regions. There is a similar standard as well in terms of economic standards. Similar standards, economics between the U.S. and Canada. You also have a similar economic standards between let's say you have India right here, you have Pakistan over here, even though they may not be the best of friends. And Pakistan, they may not be the best of friends. They have similar economic standards. So their border in terms of economics is symmetrical. Now, on the flip side, you might have two countries with a shared border. Let's call this South Korea and North Korea. And this is the north, this is the south. Culturally, perhaps, they're very similar. So they would be symmetrical culturally. But in terms of economics, they are asymmetrical because North Korea basically is closed off to the world and South Korea is not. So in kind of summarizing this, you can look at the border framework in terms of symmetry. You can look at the border framework in terms of dynamics, which includes these interactions, as opposed to just a static border that just sits there and doesn't do anything, as if there were no interaction between ideas, people, goods, and capital. So also including in these interactions is a quantitative interaction level, the number of goods, people, border crossings, those types of things, and the quality. Is it high or is it low? And you can couch these sorts of things in terms of symmetrical and asymmetrical types of things as well. So for, in a nutshell, that's a mind map of a border framework for Geography 1302.